started. Okay. You ready? Okay. Hello, and good evening, my fellow Americans. What a great night it is. Tonight, I, Luke Snyder, will be sitting here answering the complex yet simple question, what is the American dream? That one will get you thinking. I am here to tell you that it is in fact not a dream, but rather it is a reality. The American dream. It is the ideal that each and every American citizen, whether in the past, whether in the present, or in the future, should have the equal yet honest opportunity to achieve success and prosperity through your own hard work, determination, and initiative. The American dream also is the opportunity to choose and to make the most out of your potential. The very, very most. It is the freedom to pursue your goals, no matter how big or how small they are. It allows you to follow your heart. And the most beautiful thing about the American dream is, if you don't achieve it one day, you can just go to bed and dream all over again and again and again till you finally achieve your goal with your heart set out to do. Now, you might be sitting there and asking yourself, the American dream sounds great, but what will it cost? That is an excellent question. It could cost you your life, or something as small as a few bucks. But one thing we do know is that it is a high risk, but an even higher reward to live as an American citizen and to achieve the American dream. Thank you and good night. I think I got it.
A modern immigration story comes from the Huffington Post. It describes a 13-year-old boy crossing the border illegally by himself in order to escape an abusive father and to reunite with his mother and sister. He describes his life in San Pedro Sula, Honduras, where he lived in one of the most dangerous cities in the world. He described a river he lived by that would be filled with dead animals and dead bodies in bags. He also described how at a young age he lost his younger brother to an asthma attack. The reason that his younger brother did not survive was that the family didn't have enough money to take him to the hospital. This is just like in Across 100 Mountains, when Juana's parents couldn't save her sister from a scorpion sting because they couldn't afford to take her to the hospital. Originally, this boy tried to escape to America with his mother and sister, but his abusive father wouldn't let him. After 2 years without his mother and sister, he decided he could no longer live with a man so violent. He described his journey as horrible. He talked about how the group he was traveling with had to communicate with whistles, because there are people in Mexico who, if they find out you're migrating from Central America, will beat you, rape you, rob you, kidnap you, turn you into gangs, and prostitute you. He had to walk at night in order to avoid immigration authorities, and he described the halfway houses he stayed at as awful. He said they were covered in feces, smelled like urine, and there were dead animals everywhere. He also described how some of the coyotes were abusive and would punch him repeatedly. He describes snakes, scorpions, and very little water. He describes how some coyotes made deals with the military, and the military would escort them part of the way. When he finally reached the border, he was forced to swim across a very cold river to get to Rio Grande, Texas. He was caught by immigration, but he was eventually released to his mother and his sister. Now, this raises the question, is the American dream worth it, and what do you have to give up in order to achieve it?
The American dream, what does it cost? To some people, it'll cost everything. If you immigrate here with little to no money, little to no property, you will have to give up everything in order to achieve the American dream. Now to some, immigrate here from Mexico, Southern America, they travel thousands and thousands of miles just to achieve the one dream that they have, that is to better themselves and their family. They give up their family, the ones that they love, in order to help them and themselves to achieve something greater. They use all the money that they have to achieve the American dream. But most of all, they do it for their family. They do it for the ones that they love. Now, is it worth it? To some people, it is. To me especially, it is completely worth it. If you give up everything in order to achieve something greater, that is most definitely worth it. Now, in order to do something better for yourself and others, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? To some coming here looking for a better opportunity in their lives, they think that America is the only option for them and that the American dream is completely worth it. To me, it's everything. If my relatives did not immigrate here to achieve the American dream, then I would not be here. Without them, without their perseverance in order to achieve the American dream, I would not be the person I am today. I might not even be here. I might be in some country with nothing to have, working manual labor in order just to make a living. So when people ask me, is it worth it? When people ask me, is it worth it? I ask them, do you think it's worth it? And now to Shane O'Mara to talk about how the book connects to everything.
Okay, I have the quote section, and for the 3 quotes I found, I based them off the 3 prompt questions in the rubric. So for the first quote, it's based off the question of what does the American dream mean? And for this quote, I found one in the beginning of the book where it says, look at those houses over there, aren't they beautiful? See those lights flickering on? They have electricity there, running water, gas. When it rains, the houses never get flooded, and the roofs don't leak. The people stay warm. So for this quote, I think it personifies the American dream by just showing the simple things that America has that they don't have in Mexico, that they're willing to risk their lives for and basically chase. And then for the second question, it's what does the American dream cost? And for this one, I found a quote saying, this would be Adelina's gift to her mother, peace and truth. Her father had not abandoned her. And this was a part of the book where Adelina comes back with her father's ashes to her mother. And this shows what the American dream costs, as Adelina's father was trying to leave Mexico for them to pursue that American dream, and it eventually ended up costing his life. And for the third question, it is, and is the American dream worth it? And this is a simple quote, and I just put, for the quote, I made a choice and I must live with it. And so basically, with the American dream being worth it, it's a high risk, high reward situation. So some people make it and they live their greatest lives in America, and it's 100% worth it for them. But for someone like Adelina's father, in the end, it might not have been worth it, as he ended up dying and leaving his family.